Zuckerberg has said that Meta has fired 11,000 employees globally. Let's go straight to Rubina for more on this.
Yes, Neha, following Twitter, Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, confirms its plans for mass layoffs, and Mark Zuckerberg in his blog post has written that he's sharing some of the most difficult changes. He said that we have made in Meta's history, I've decided to reduce the size of our team by about 13% and let go of more than 11,000 of our talented employees. We are also, he said, we are also taking a number of additional steps to become a leaner and more efficient company by cutting discretionary spending and extending hiring freeze through the Q1. He also said that he takes accountability for these decisions and for how they got there. I know this is tough for everyone, and I'm especially sorry to those impacted, Mark Zuckerberg wrote. Meta has been facing economic challenges as its share prices are down to 70% year to date. Last month, the quarterly forecast wiped off an additional $80 billion in value, making it $500 billion in Meta's value so far. Mark Zuckerberg has painted a grim outlook for the forecast and expects a long-term horizon for companies' investments in AI and metaverse to pay dividends. Meta joins the list of tech companies that are laying off their employees. Last week, Twitter fired over 50% of its workforce and over 90% of its employees in India. And Microsoft too is expected to cut staff. Apple too has placed a hiring freeze expected to last most of 2023 as economic conditions have grown more challenging.
Well, Rubina, this does seem to be a huge challenge, not only for Meta, because there seems to be layoffs across board. But in terms of Meta, Zuckerberg had actually gone and defended Meta very strongly, and he had said Meta is doing far better than what critics had actually anticipated this to be. And yet, there's a massive layoff that has been announced.
Yes, earlier Meta, Mark Zuckerberg had said that they are not expecting mass layoffs. They are just planning to, have their people stay and not hire more. But as you can see, as the Silicon Valley is suffering with the economic crisis, first Twitter laid off its employees, and now Meta is doing the same. 11,000 employees is what he said.
That is a huge number. In fact, this also, Rubina, comes very close at the heels of Twitter laying off several of their employees. Much of India totally wiped off, the India employees totally wiped off the Twitter company as such. How does this link in with that?
Sneha, right now we don't know how many employees in India have been impacted with Meta. As you know, Meta is the parent company of Facebook, it is the parent company of WhatsApp and Instagram, and there are thousands of employees here in India as well. So right now there's no confirmation on the number of Indian employees that have been impacted.
Right. How is this, how is the social media reactions to this? Because while there were a lot of layoffs expected in several other social media organizations, say for example Twitter, Zuckerberg for a very long time kept defending Meta and saying this was his investment in future. This is the future. This is, he had envisaged broad plans and ideas for Meta particularly. So how does this, in terms of the massive layoff, 13% of its employees globally is a big number?
It is absolutely a big number. Meta was investing a lot in metaverse, in the AI world that is in future to come. But right now, Meta did not get the audience excited for it. And currently that projects and, a lot of future projects are not working out for Meta. But however, as you know, WhatsApp and Instagram are growing rapidly. Instagram with Reels is growing rapidly. And in his last blog post, he actually mentioned a lot about Instagram Reels and how he plans to really put a focus there.
Well, 13% of employees being given the pink slip in Meta by Zuckerberg, and this essentially just days after Zuckerberg claimed that the followers for Instagram and Facebook, the users for these platforms, are only increasing. We'll keep following this closely.